going What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. Amron, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I thought we were live when I pressed the button. Had to wait a second, but we are here. It's Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the dot. As you guys know, on the dot, we are here today to draft some underdog best ball teams. I'm not sure what we're going to get into just yet. We have Best Ball Mania. I believe we still have the Underdog Schnauzer out, or the Mini Schnauzer. I'm not sure if that's also out there. But we're here, ready to draft some teams. Got a fresh fade today. How are we looking? Let me know. I feel it, dude. My boy Danny might have blessed me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna act coy. Look, man, I was at the gym today. Hottest girl in the gym opens the door for me. Hit her with a thanks, babe. No, I said thanks, and then I walked to my car in silence. That's really what happened here. But we're here to talk about fantasy football. How is everybody doing? How are we? Who do we got in here? We got Brock in here. We got Among Us in here. We're also, this is a new-ish setup. It is a new setup. You can see this is a new desk that I built. Look, we got cords and wire management comes later. I do hate that I just exposed the lower half of my body there, but we do have a lot of space to work with. I can if I want to, but we're here. The lighting, it's all still a work in progress. All right, we might get some backlights. I think I'm going to mount a TV right here. I don't know that I'll ever play stuff in the background, but I've seen people do that before. I don't know. We're doing a lot of yapping now. I imagine you guys want to see us get into drafts here. We got Slayton in here. We got Jordan. Where's bro at? Come on, man. What do you mean 5:45? I mean, I was here 6:30 on the dot. What are we saying? We got Uzi in here. Multi-tabling is tough for content. It's pretty brutal. Mr. Next Month, dude, it is July, man. It's July. People don't understand. When August comes around, it comes around. Schnauzer 5, 20-second shot clock. Okay. We'll probably run that. Unless if you guys have, I don't know. You guys have a preference between, we got the Schnauzer. I haven't done a BBM in a while. 20-second clocks does sound fun, though. Mini Schnauzer might be the play. I think we might do that. Show my girls on this app. We got L Jeff in here. We got Hem Slinger. Leg reveal, dude. My legs are probably the worst part of the physique, if you will. It's brutal, man. Leg day equals confidence, dude. I got nothing. As a barber, clean fade? Hell yeah, dude. That's my boy Danny. Over at Major League Barbers in Wharton, New Jersey. If anybody out there is in Jersey, they are the best. All right, so let's do the damn thing here. First up, let's take care of some business. There is nothing like a fresh fade. I will say my new PC is actually coming in tomorrow, which is fun. You guys know I am an idiot at heart, man. Apparently my new, it's like a supercomputer at this point that I bought. My brother put me onto it. It's like a pre-built Paradox computer. It's supposed to be like a supercomputer, pretty much. They've been waiting for me to confirm that I'm ready for it to get shipped out. I did not see the email, and it's just been sitting there for a week. So I finally said today, okay, I'm good for it to come, and it's literally going to come tomorrow. So I could have had this PC last week. I am an idiot. That's kind of been known. And damn, I'm actually super pumped for this game tonight, dude. This is a must-win game for the US of A. Can we just put it right in here? Boom. We got a new customer special over on Underdog. Make sure you check it out. Big game. We absolutely goofed versus Panama. I hate to say it, but fuck Tim Way. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. He comes out here, punches a guy, red card. We lose to Panama. Copa America is going on for those of you guys that don't know. And there is a new customer special. When you use promo code RON, they'll match your first deposit over on Underdog Fantasy. They'll match your first deposit up to $250. They match half of your first deposit. So if you deposit 100, they'll match 50. If you deposit 50, they'll match 25. All of that is there. You get to hop in these drafts with us, which we're going to do a $3 draft here, which to me is maybe the best way to prepare for your home league, where there's a lot of values right now. I want to say, like, Devin Achan's a second-round pick on Underdog. He's like a fourth-round pick on ESPN and your home league sites. You have Malik Neighbors, who's like a third-round pick. He goes in the sixth round on home leagues. It's just the best to kind of see the way that the market should be drafting efficiently, and then you take that into your home league and you dominate. And then you also get the pick'ems. You can go higher or lower. They have stuff for soccer. They have stuff for baseball. All that you could possibly imagine. And there is a special Christian Pulisic for anybody out there that is a new customer that uses promo code RON. So with that being said, also let me know, what are your predictions for this USA game? Apparently, I don't know, the starting 11 hasn't come out yet, but it's a must-win game for US. And pretty much the hope is with America that Uruguay sits their starters. Now, anybody out there that wants to draft with us, $3 entry, again, really, really good way just to get your feet wet, just to see what drafting in these lobbies is like, just to get a feel and just see what's going on in these lobbies, what's going on with these prices. $3 to enter, $10,000 the first place. You get a $10,000 upside, $3 to enter. It's probably the most efficient way to do a mock draft. So if anyone wants to hop in with us, you can. Promo code RON if you are new. All of that good stuff. The link to use promo code RON is in the description. It's in the comment section. It's in the live chat. Damn, this thing filled up quick. I also do love the 20-second clocks, man. These tournaments where they shrink down the clocks are so nice. And we're out here at the 2 spot. Let's pop out the draft board. 20 seconds. All right, so I got to be on my P's and Q's. You guys know sometimes I'll get caught up in the chat. And I'll forget to make a pick. We'll see. 20 seconds shouldn't be too bad, though. It shouldn't be a race against time for every single pick. But what else do we got? This is the part of the stream where I start missing everybody's chats. All right, I think that this should be good. This looks good to me. Man, that does mean a lot. I know that I already covered this comment, but as a Barmer clean fade. Thank you, brother. We got Austin in here. What's going on? Christian Watson or Brian Thomas Jr. for Marathon? I'm leaning Watson. I don't mind Watson at all. Mr. August, dude, August is coming. We're gearing up here. I am very excited, man. We've been staying low-key. Had to deal, we've been dealing with mold. We've been dealing with scheduling. It's been a lot of screwing around here the past month, I won't lie, of just like not getting videos out as much as I would like to, but I'm very excited to get back into the fantasy grind, if you will, this month. We're going to be pushing hard all the way through, through week 1, through the season, everything. Looking extra cute today. Thank you, brother. Hope it has enough power supply. Pre-builds often underspec the power supply. I could send a link to what I got in the chat. It's supposedly a really good setup, Brock. I'm going to send it in chat just so that you guys, at this point, you're only going to give me buyer's remorse. This is honestly what you guys do. When you already made a trade and you ask me what I think about it, and then I have to sort of sugarcoat it. So that's what I'm going to do to you guys here, where I've already made a massive purchase, and now you get to tell me that I probably made a mistake. Let's see if I can find the link. Yeah, I should be. All right, let's see. Let me know, Brock. I'm genuinely curious here. This is what I got, I believe. Boom. Also, in terms of what's happened in this draft, I feel like nothing crazy. Or actually, wow. So this guy goes Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle. That's interesting. Jahmyr Gibbs in the second round is pretty crazy. But it's not like, Gibbs and then Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't really a rare combination there. Anything else stick out? Not really. Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Breece, A.J. Brown. Also, I will say my rankings are outdated. I was actually, before I got on here and why I was running a little bit late, which, running late, but also was here on the dots, 6:30 on the dot somehow, some way. I'm trying to update the rankings here. I'm about halfway done. I'm debating after the stream finishing it or just doing it tomorrow. I'm still not sure yet, but a new rankings update will be out on the Patreon, patreon.com/RonStewart. If you're sick enough to want Underdog rankings, I now have my top 150 you can upload straight to Underdog, and that should be updated in the next few days, if not tonight. Anything else stick out here? What else do we got? What else? We said, when are we doing our first NFC or FFPC? Man, July 1st? Probably not till August or like the last week of July. We'll see. Those chemicals in the basement got you talking about quantum computers, dude. I'm telling you, I talked about it in my last video. So we got Saquon is best available right now. Achan, Neighbors, Devontae Smith. I'll go Devontae Smith. I kind of think Devontae Smith's price has just been getting pushed up for the Philly to Dallas stack stuff. You know what? Give me Saquon, dude. I actually just tweeted about it. Pretty much going into like, I want to start drafting more Saquon for a few reasons. One, I think he's buried in everybody's rankings. Everybody has him lower than his ADP, right? Like, where did we just draft him? We drafted him pick, wow, so this is actually sick value. We got him at pick 26. His ADP is 20.8. So we got him at a value, but this is like around where your established the run rankings are. Where my rankings are, but my next update, he'll be higher. Third round Saquon is nice, but everybody's fading him. ETR is fading him. Leg Up with Pat Kerrane. Rotoviz is fading him. And that's not to say that it's not warranted and that he's not a sketchy pick or a profile that I don't love. But if the entire market is low on him, I don't mind leveraging that a little bit and going from where those guys have him as like a complete zero pretty much to drafting him more often. I also think when we get more of the what do you want to call them? The not normies, but guys as they fill into underdog as the offseason goes on, running backs are going to get pushed up. And if we can get these late second, early third prices on Saquon, and then he becomes in this like JT area as we get into August, that's some nice closing line value. No, Uruguay is really good, man. Uruguay is really good. It's funny, man. I only watch international soccer, and I get most of my soccer takes from FIFA. So I know like Valverde. When they had Suarez and Cavani, I knew, but I don't know. I don't know who else they have anymore. I know they have Valverde, Nunez or Darwin. I think Darwin Nunez is his name. That's all I got. Yeah, run up the likes. We got 17 likes, but like 120 people in here. Come on now. Underdog has lines up for the hot dog eating contest. Hell yeah, man. What else we got in here? Yeah, I did love the 10-second drafts too. I honestly love all of the shortened clock ones. It's just 30 seconds. It feels quick, but it's better. The shorter it is, the better it is. Just more drafts you can get in, and if you're just locked in, you can just rip through them. Mold, yeah, I hate to say it. Look, we're in the basement. Mold happens in basements. So we had mold here. We got some workers. They had to like excavate some things. They had to spray some chemicals. So I couldn't work or record down here for like a 5-day stretch. They're doing the finishing touches tomorrow, but all the chemicals and stuff are done. It's just a matter of it being annoying where like I have to write outlines upstairs at like a tiny little desk. Not this new desk that I just built and was excited to use. So just been like it's just been annoying, but not anything terrible. What else we got? You wanted the Dax CD stack in a 10-team dynasty league, so I offered AJ Brown and Olave for CD. God damn. Thoughts on Ramondre? I like it. I like Ramondre. It is a little bit tough just because the situation isn't beautiful. So we already have running back, 2 wide receivers. ETN's best available right now. Give me ETN, man. We talked about him in the video yesterday. We'll run kind of like a pseudo double hero RB build where our wide receivers are sick. I kind of like that idea. We miss out on Hurts. We can always go to the Dak Prescott well. Man, a smarter guy would have taken Hollywood Brown there and then seen if we could have gotten Mahomes to fall back to us, but I'm fine playing our Dallas Philly through Dak and not trying to set up that Mahomes stack. But we could have easily done it. Like we could have gone Hollywood Brown here and then Mahomes here. But I do just think that ETN's that good that I'm fine kind of breaking up that I don't know what you want to call that, like sharp play. Why would you buy that? What, the PC? Because I stream? What else? I'll probably DM it to you, Brock. I'm telling you, man. Like the Saquon thing, it is interesting, man. I think the capped receiving upside is the downside, but he's going to have the best offensive line of his career, the best offense of his career. DeAndre Swift had more goal line attempts than Saquon Barkley last year. So Josh Norris brought it up on Underdog Fantasy, their YouTube channel, the other day, when he was talking about Swift, and that DeAndre Swift isn't seeing an upgrade in terms of his goal line opportunities in Chicago. He'll have a higher percentage, but the Eagles' offense is so good that they're always at the goal line that Jalen Hurts and the running back on the Eagles, they can both be top 10 in goal line attempts. Now, he's not going to lead the league in touchdowns or lead the league in goal line attempts, but it's not going to be to the point where Saquon can't score double-digit touchdowns. I believe Mike Clay actually has Jalen Hurts projected for 10 rushing touchdowns, Saquon Barkley projected for 9. They could just score the most rushing touchdowns in the entire league, and that could get him there. It's tough. I'm definitely contradicting myself because he probably doesn't have legendary 20-plus point per game upside, but that's so rare these days that if you can draft Saquon in the late second, early third, and he's just like a top 3 running back in points per game, even if that's like 18 points per game and half PPR, that's kind of a W. So it's tough. I get structurally taking the wide receivers. It feels better to take the wide receivers. I'm just personally saying, I mean, it's a bit on chip chasing with the 4% blanket. I don't want to be at 0% Saquon. I'd like to be at like 5 to 8%, which is, we're getting very in the weeds saying that, but he's not someone I want to have a complete fade on. He's someone I want to mix in. That's all I'm trying to say. Because at the end of the day, he is Saquon Barkley. He's in a great offense, and he could very easily be a top 5 running back in points per game. And that should mean something. I'm actually surprised Paul, I don't even know how to say his name. Paul, this is a guy that's before my time, but I know who he is. I know that he claims to like have invented zero RB maybe, even though Sean Siegel is my GOAT personally. Let's see. 6th round. God, everything sucks. I'm going to take Deontay. I like Deontay. We'll see what else comes to us. I was going to say, if Vaporware let us get Kenneth Walker in the 7th, I might have taken him. And then, I mean, I feel like I keep taking Ladd McConkey on these streams, man. But 7th round Ladd McConkey, I can't say no. Now, we have a lot of wide receiver firepower here, but there wasn't really a clear detour. You could have talked me into the Evan Ingram thing. You could have talked me into it, but I'm not crazy about Evan Ingram in the early 7th. He's to me more of like a late 7th once the wide receiver avalanche is gone and like JSN is gone. You could have talked me into it. We already had ETN. I'm trying to think through it here. But I don't know. I don't mind it. We're strong at receiver now. We're somehow strong at receiver after taking 2 detours for running backs. Our issue is going to be the onesies here. We're going to have to start locking in on the onesies pretty much at the next turn and start making some real moves there. What else do we got? You like Saquon this year? Yeah, I don't hate him is my thing. I got Saquon at 28 today. Yeah, if Saquon gets to you at any point in the 3rd round, you have to take it. Is there a reason that you want to stack player matchups in playoff weeks? Yeah, it's just the correlation in the playoff weeks. You kind of have to think through it like a DFS contest where Dallas versus Philly, right? That's the one that we're targeting here with Saquon and Devontae Smith and CeeDee Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb, like let's say we somehow make it to the final week in one of these contests, right? We make it to the final week. Most of the money available in these contests is available in week 17. So we want to optimize for week 17. And you want to take it a step further. You want to optimize for week 16 to get to week 17. But that's a story for another time. But with week 17, if CeeDee Lamb drops a 20-piece, or let's say he drops a 30-piece, then likely the Cowboys, maybe they win by 7 and it's the shootout. Well, if CeeDee Lamb has 30, then there's a better likelihood of Devontae Smith or Saquon also going off in a high-scoring environment. Whereas instead of Saquon, if that was Achane, and let's say it's Miami versus Cleveland, and it's like a rainy game, and Achane does nothing, your outcomes are no longer correlated. Now, you might be like, oh, well, you're putting all your eggs in one basket of one game. Well, your entire season banks on all your eggs being in the basket of week 17. So you'd rather kind of optimize for a shootout happening where we've looked at this maybe once every stream. But if you look through the last 3 winners of BBM or Best Ball Mania on Underdog, almost all, or pretty much all of them have week 17 game stacks going on. Are you in the Scott Fish Bowl? Yes, sir. Oh yeah, I know Arajo from. He's like a budget beast in FIFA. Wow, I did my first high stakes draft last year, June 17th, huh? Maybe I'll start. Maybe I'll do one soon here. We'll see. Are you sure that's not July 17th, Henry? I'd be shocked. Week 17 correlation doesn't matter in normal redraft. Not much. No. I think team stacks and team correlation matters though. Let's take Dak here. Or what quarterback you got? Lamar. I don't know. I could get cute and take somebody not named Dak Prescott, but there's no, if like Jake Ferguson was available, I would have gone that route. So we get sniped on Fergie and Brock Bowers there, huh? Then we have 20 seconds to figure something out here. I don't know. I don't like Njoku a ton, but I think we have the luxury to take him here. We're already strong at running back. We're strong pretty much everywhere right now. I don't feel a ton of pressure to take a guy like Pollard when we already have Etienne and Saquon. Yeah, I'll take Njoku there. Again, I'm not crazy about it, but I don't think that this team needed a Curtis Samuel or a Lockett or a Tony Pollard. Don't think any of the quarterbacks would have made sense. Yeah, so I think I'm fine with Njoku there. I actually like Njoku. I just don't love unstacked Njoku, but I'm fine with it. Ron, how you been? Great video yesterday. Thank you, man. That's a name I recognize. SS Austin, how you been, man? That's definitely a computer. I think that's true. And then I think that he still has upside for like multiple touchdown games. Yeah, I agree. You said only 3 RBs with legendary upside. Yeah, I think that's probably true. We got James Young in here. What's up? Yeah, I figured my first draft was in July. All right, I'm trying to get caught up with the chat here, fellas. I'm sorry. The second round player I'm out on at cost is Chris Olave. I've been starting to mix in Olave more. The thing about Olave is he was in the second round last year and his advance rates were fine, even though he felt like he sucked last year. Like, he could do what he did last year and still be a perfectly fine pick. I haven't drafted a lot of him, but in the new rankings update, I'm trying to put him in a spot where I'll at least get to, like, you know, this is where we get nerdy and in the, you know, nitty-gritty, but, like, 6 to 8% would be nice on Olave. I'm not crazy about him. Torsten, what's up? What's up? Love from Germany? Hell yeah. We got Joe Bordelot. What's up? What's up? What else we got? Been a while. Welcome back, man. We got Deontay Johnson, Zamir White, probably best bang for your buck at ADP this year. I haven't been drafting on a Zamir White, but he's priced just fine, really. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I am in Scott Fishbowl, yeah. What do you think about Cooper Kupp? I actually, in this new rankings update, I'm trying to move him up. I see the appeal. I'm a little... This guy's name is Diddy Squads. God damn it. What does that even mean, sir? What do you mean by that? Let's see. We go Cooks for the stack. I'm going to take Gus Edwards. I haven't taken a lot of Gus Edwards. But in the 10th round, he makes sense. We already have some Chargers stuff going on here. And we already have a ton of wide receivers. If this guy pushes Cooks to this next pick, I'll take Cooks. I'm not crazy about Cooks. Yeah, fine. Not crazy about Cooks, man. When's our next pick? Damn, that should have been Herbert. I'm just going to be honest. I'm like, man, can we push Herbert to this next pick? I don't think he's going to be there, but, you know, we got 3 quarterbacks still on the board. We'll see if he gets back. I probably should have just kept my mouth shut, but we'll see. But yeah, Saquon, but Kupp is tough, man. I think he's pretty much a lock to be behind Puka at this point. I just he's tough. He's tough. He goes from like fantasy breaking upside to now. I don't know. I don't know if he reverts back to like when it was Kupp and Robert Woods and he was just like this boring wide receiver 2. I don't know if last year was fluky and he bounces back, but expecting a bounce back for somebody like that's in his 30s, I believe at this point. I'm not drafting a lot of Kupp. I'm mixing him in, is what I'll say. He's not a target for me. He's someone that I'm taking where he goes at this point. Like, where did he go in this draft? Yeah, I mean, I would take Diggs over him. But right in this area, I'd be fine sprinkling in Kupp here and there. I'm fine with him. I'm not crazy about him. But I'm also not, like, completely fading him. Seems like every star wide receiver wants a new contract. Yeah. Lamb has, like, sneaky getting traded up. Like, he could get traded, but I don't know. Did Olave just happen to get taken with CMC a lot based on ADP, so he advanced a lot? I don't think so. I don't think that, like, Olave was a mid-second. Or actually, you're right. McCaffrey wasn't the first overall guy last year. That's a decent idea there. But I will say, if you were taking Olave in the second, you probably had a decent chunk of those be like 0 RB type of teams. Don't you think the Olave advancements could be due to him being paired with CMC a lot? Yeah, that's what people seem to say. Do you ever consider doing a live Scott Fish Bowl? Maybe. It would have to be in like Jersey or New York and with like people that I'm friends with in the community. We got Mr. Bakes a lot. What's going on? Cooks was really good second part of last year for fantasy after he got in sync with Dak. Yeah, I think he's fine. I'm not crazy about it. I just don't know how he becomes like a league-winning type of guy. But I'm largely fine with him. Man, I thought we were going to get sniped on Justin Herbert, man. We got him to come back to us. Didn't mean to get quiet there. I thought we were getting sniped. I think that we can cut it off at 2 quarterbacks there then. Herbert and Dak. Sounds good to me. Man. We hadn't had the luxury to do whatever we want. I think I'm going to take Jalen Wright here. We have some Miami-Cleveland correlation. And I don't feel a lot of pressure. I know, you could be like, oh, we'll take Quentin Johnston. You already have Justin Herbert. But, I mean, we have Lad McConkey. Quentin Johnston just might be dead, man. Said, shout out to Scott Connor. Yeah, definitely check that out, man. Destination Devi. Scott Connor had me on last Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, last Wednesday. But yeah, he's the man. He's someone that we follow, or not we, someone that I've followed for a very long time. He is one of the OGs in the space. I told him as well, him and Ray, man. I mean, I've told this story before, or just kind of the story of the channel was just me delivering DoorDash and pizzas and listening to fantasy podcasts the entire time. And Dynasty and Chill was one of them, and so was OG Destination Devi was one of them as well. Not going to act like I was the biggest fan of those guys and I was like on their Patreons and followed them on every single social, but they were definitely in the rotation of my podcasts at that point. He said, CeeDee Lamb watched this team do nothing this offseason, also a squad of wide receivers who he outclassed get paid like quarterbacks. Yeah, I think that you're right, man. I do think that CeeDee Lamb has every right to believe that he should get paid the same amount as Justin Jefferson. I don't know that he's better than Jefferson, if you were to ask me, but he outproduced him last year in a contract, or not in a contract year, but he now has the leverage on that. It's really hard to click Cooks over Judy or Ford. I agree. I only did it because of the stack, really. My Olave team that got to the semis didn't have CMC. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think CMC influenced some of it, but he also wasn't brutally awful where he killed your teams last year. And I think that he was also on a lot of 0 RB teams as well. Like Olave in the second was a 0 RB bro pick on top of being a McCaffrey pick. Your singular what's the fishbowl we keep talking about? Scott Fishbowl. It's a charity league that like pretty much everyone in the fantasy industry gets invited to. It's run by Scott Fish. He is the man. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's like this massive tournament. It's for free. It's for charity. Scott Fish does like a great job with it, where he does like a podathon and they talk about it. And I think they have like Fantasy Cares is like one of the charities. I'll be honest, I'm not like the most well versed in it. I think it's a cool concept, and I do it every year just to kind of support the fantasy community. But I would not call myself a spokesperson for it. Jordan Griffanti, we ripping another one. Get me to 50 likes, we'll rip another one. That's what, 13 more likes away? We'll rip another one of these 20-second clocks. These go by quick. Let's see. Bateman, Wandale, Corley, Algier. Give me Algier, and then we're done at running back. So now we're done at RB. Fine with Algier. Now we're just looking at wide receivers and tight ends. I don't like any of these tight ends, really. It might be a 3 tight end build. We're going to go Corley here, man. I've been drafting more of Malachi Corley. I just like the rookie upside that you can bet on with him. Yeah, and I don't really feel like our wide receivers are weak at all. So I think that this could be like a 2-5. I think this will be a 2-5-8-3 build. Will probably be how we end this. 2-5-8-3 or 2-5-9-2, one of the two. But I don't think you can run like Njoku, Tyler Conklin and feel good about that. One of the tight ends could certainly be a Chargers tight end, whether that's like Hayden Hurst or whatever. Chargers play New England in the final. So that's something I should be thinking about as well, looking at New England players. Damn, so Demario Douglas is no longer as cheap as he once was. Huh? You took him pick 159. Wow. So I remember when his ADP was like 180. Demario Douglas. All right. But yeah, I've been taking more and more Malachi Corley, man. Seems like the Jets really want to use him, get him involved. I'm telling you guys now, I know Xavier Gibson is a fun, trendy name. I just don't think he's an NFL wide receiver. He's much more. He was like an undrafted free agent. I don't think that his yards per out run was very good. Like, I'll pull it up now. I think Malachi Corley probably is a starting slot receiver very early on at this point. Let me see. So I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Like, he wasn't... I don't know that there was much signal that Xavier Gibson is an NFL wide receiver. Let's see. I do have to get my monitors figured out. I'm looking so far across right now. Xavier Gibson... Yeah, I mean, we're talking 58.4 receiving grade. I get it was with Zach Wilson, but 0.67 yards per out run. Like I said, I just don't think he's really an NFL guy with much staying power. To me, he's just a special teamer. He beat out McCole Hardman. Like, that's a decent comp for him, is like McCole Hardman, this like special team specialist, gadget type of player. And the Jets absolutely love Malachi Corley. And that's not even like a homer take. I've never really been like, this guy's a Jet, so I'm going to draft a lot of him. I actually think Mike Williams is one of the worst picks on the board right now. But Malachi Corley, rookie upside, is going to run routes early. I don't believe in Mike Williams. Like, outside of Garrett Wilson, there's not a lot to love with the Jets offense. I know that Tyler Conklin is there. People like Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin's also just kind of a mid tight end. So Malachi Corley is interesting. They're going to want to give him touches. He's going to get playing time early on. And you can get him, what, like the 15th round? Yeah. How do you feel about Burrow this year at his ADP? I think he's a pretty good value. Obviously, there's injury risk, but I don't see a huge difference between him and Stroud. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say. Like, when you said that, of like he's a good value, I was going to be like, yeah, he's kind of a good arbitrage on Stroud. Really, the only concern is, and I want to have an injury guy on here soon, his wrist injury is very weird, man. It's an injury that not many quarterbacks have. Done at running back. I guess we'll take Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely doesn't really correlate with anything we have going on here. Oh, we do have some Jacksonville. No, let's take Likely past ADP here. So we take Likely. We'll save our last spot for like Hayden Hurst or something like that late. Give me Chark. Woo. I didn't know if that was going to work in time, but that's fine. We get DJ Chark in there. I think we're going to go for... Yeah, we're going to be fine. I was debating going with like Kendrick Bourne or some random New England player, but I didn't really feel like we needed it that bad. Like, I could have gone Kendrick Bourne, like reached on him a little bit, but I think we'll be all right with what we got there. All right, so we have one more pick, and it's going to be a tight end. While we wait, let's hop into another one. What do you guys say? Mini Schnauzer 5. Anyone wants to hop in with us? I'll give you a nice little countdown. Of course, this is Underdog Fantasy. We're doing drafts on Underdog here every single Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the dot Eastern time. Underdog Fantasy, they have pick'ems where you can go higher or lower. Today, they have one for Captain America. Where the hell did he go? Did I lose him? There it is, Pulisic. He has a special in the pick'em lobby. You go higher than 0.5 shots, you know he's going to take a shot. And you can string that together with other soccer players' shots. You can string it together with MLB plays. All of that good stuff, all in Underdog Fantasy. And on top of that, you can hop into these drafts with us. Get ready for your home leagues. Get ready for everything in terms of fantasy football for just $3. It's pretty much like a mock draft, but there's real money on the line and there's real upside. So you're getting a return on your time investment, and you're getting a sharp lobby with people not just like auto drafting players. So we're going to hop into one of these. You can use promo code RON to sign up if you haven't already. They'll match your first deposit up to $250, and you get that Christian Pulisic pick'em waiting for you. Now, we're 10 picks away here in our other draft. Here is the draft board. For anybody out there that wants to know what our picks have been thus far, we have taken CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Ladd McConkey, Dak Prescott, David Njoku, Gus Edwards, Brandon Cooks, Justin Herbert, Jalen Wright, Tyler Algier, Malachi Corley, Isaiah Likely, DJ Chark. Some Chargers. We have we have a lot of that Dallas-Philly game, which is fun. Wish we had a little bit more in New England, but there's just not really much to be done in that department. We're going to go with a last-round tight end here. Most likely Hayden Hurst, to be honest with you. Hayden Hurst isn't like a terrible tight end. Greg Roman likes to use tight ends. And just another way to get an option attached to Justin Herbert. That might be overkill, though. You can definitely get away with 5 total from the Chargers, though. Yeah, we're going to do it. You could talk me into it being overkill, but we're just going to run it. All right, so we are now... Okay, we got the 105. Dude, I've been so lucky in terms of draft spots. Like, I can't remember the last time I hopped on a stream and had to pick from, like, the 12 or the 11 or something pretty gross. So, we'll take that. McCaffrey off the board. That locks us in for one of Tyreek, Chase, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. That's the other one that didn't go there. Best case scenario for Ayuk in a trade would be the Chargers by far, is where I've kind of landed. Oh yeah, give me Jamar Chase. Very excited about that. 105 Jamar Chase is very nice. I believe that Week 17 game is Cincy Denver. Bills is a good shout too. Feel sort of guilty that just 10 shields in Rom's room and 2 shields besides me in the overflow. Colton Marsh, what's up, man? Pick 101. You taking Biden or Trump? You tell me, man. I'm taking Iguodala. We got Steve from Blue's Clues in here. What the damn hell? Trying to see. First round's pretty much chalk. Said Corley's your most drafted wide receiver, huh? Corley round 15 is crazy cheap for Rodgers wide receiver 2. Yeah, I mean, some people seem to think that that's going to be Mike Williams. Mike Williams, man, I'm not drafting a lot of him. I'm only drafting him if I have Josh Allen in like Bill stacks as like a bring back, or if I'm drafting Aaron Rodgers, which I'm not really drafting a lot of Aaron Rodgers. Mike Williams is brutal, man. He's somebody that has thrived from high pass attempt environments with the Chargers, with Justin Herbert these past few years. And now he goes to the Jets, comes off an ACL tear, which we've seen for these big clashing X receivers like Michael Gallup. That's my biggest fear, is we've seen Michael Gallup go from a promising wide receiver to a traffic cone since his ACL tear, just zapped him of all of his juice. I think that's what's going to happen for Mike Williams, who wins off of raw athleticism and just out-jumping people. So that's scary. I think Allen Lazard's going to be firmly in the mix to play on the outside. They have plans to slow roll him, kind of like they did with Breece Hall last year. So just all in all, not the biggest fan. Let's take, we took Chase first. We'll go Devontae Adams. I've been warming up to Devontae Adams here. I think I don't remember what pod I heard this on. It might have been Karane's Legendary Upside. But new offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, coming to the Raiders. He's somebody who apparently has always really fed his number one wide receiver. He did it last year with DJ Moore. Before that, I'm not sure where he was at. He might have been like a passing game coordinator for the Packers or something with Devontae Adams. But it seems like if Devontae Adams is in Las Vegas, he's going to get peppered with targets, which is exciting. You're fading Mike Williams? Yeah, me too. If somehow CD or Ayuk get traded to the Commanders, us JD5 owners are going to be millionaires. You got in at pick 6? All right, sweet. You said Steve Smith loves Corley, and he has been really good at evaluating wide receiver prospects. Yeah, I will say from a numbers standpoint and an evaluation standpoint, I don't love Malachi Corley, but in redraft at his price, I don't know that it matters a ton how you felt about him pre-draft, because he's a day 2 drafted wide receiver. You're getting him late. And wide receiver is a crapshoot, man. You could just be straight up wrong. Nobody saw Tank Dell being amazing last year. What else we got in here? But yeah, Devontae Adams is so tough, man, because you could talk me into him being the 201 if he was on a good offense. Devontae Adams, I don't think that he's lost any of his juice. I think that he's still a really good player. Oh, yeah, dude. Give me Achane. Achane at the 305 is nice. My God, that is nice. I would take Achane at pick 20 if I had to. So, very much a fan of that. I thought about Malik Neighbors long and hard there, but that's a fun start. Chase, Devontae, Achane. But like I said, I don't think Devontae Adams' talent has fallen off at all. I imagine his reception perception numbers are still great. His per-out numbers are still good. It's just that his quarterbacks are Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and Antonio Pierce is gonna want to just ground and pound, smash mouth football. That's the biggest holdup. Why does Jamar Chase get glazed in fantasy? Never really cooks. I mean, his first year was amazing. His first year was like Hall of Fame worthy. I think last year was his 3rd year. Second year was pretty good. Last year wasn't great because of Burrow going down, but his peripherals are great. Like, Jamar Chase is good. I think in the second year he led the NFL, or he led all wide receivers in fantasy in expected points per game. He just had a down year with, I think, injuries, and then last year was like a Joe Burrow thing. But if he was to get Joe Burrow for 17 games and we got Jamar Chase for 17 games, it's hard to see how he doesn't finish as a top 5 wide receiver. And you kind of just have to see it to believe it, you know? Or see it before it happens. Like, nobody... CeeDee Lamb was like a 1-2 turnaround pick last year. No one thought he was going to be the wide receiver 1 in fantasy. Chase could absolutely do that. You said Corley is the Yak King. Yeah, that's what he calls himself. We got Nicklin here. What's up, man? Skylar Breen for president. Disbanded Brotherhood. What's up, man? Chicago Spartan. Thanks for the stream. Of course, man. Of course. I do love just talking ball with you guys. Yeah, this is an interesting start. I don't know that I've had a start like this before. And I was asking the chat earlier, man, this is probably the biggest USA soccer game since the World Cup. They screw up versus Panama. I'm actually going to tune in tonight. I will say too, something that I'll mention, I don't want to get too off topic from football, but I did go to my first ever event at Madison Square Garden. I went to SmackDown on Friday with my little brother. It was actually sick. Are we going to take ETN again here? Yeah, give me ETN. I was debating getting cute and like taking Lamar and hoping Andrews came back to me. But I didn't think I needed to. I debated it hard. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys would have done. I could have been talked into tight end there. ETN was tough to pass on. Lamar's tough because you're gambling that Andrews comes back, and then if he doesn't, you're pretty much out of stacking options. I don't hate McBride. You could have talked me into McBride there. You could have talked me into... Yeah, it would have been Andrews, McBride, Lamar is what you could have talked me into over ETN. Yeah, if I was Rick Diggle, yeah, Lamar Andrews, that's sweet, man. What else we got? He said, how many BBMs are you at? Honestly, not that many. I'm like just under 20. They just keep dropping these like low entry contests that I have a tough time turning down. We're going to go naked Mahomes here, man. You could talk me into... I just don't love the wide receivers in this range. I don't mind Hollywood Brown, but I prefer him on a team with Mahomes. And if Mahomes is here, I have no problem taking 5th round Mahomes, and we'll just figure out the stacks later. So I'm fine with that. But yeah, I went to SmackDown on Friday at MSG, which was sick. Crowd was crazy. It was like sold out at MSG. The crowd was crazy. That was like, you guys probably saw the clips, but like Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton were in the mix, which was hilarious. What else do we got? Hot take, Rachaad White will be a top 3 running back? I don't know, brother. RB hate and underdog has gone too far. I tend to kind of agree, but it's tough because you kind of have to play to what your environment is. Minshew's not bad. He can support a back end wide receiver 1. Did it with Pittman last year. Don't see a red flag for Adams with Minshew. It's just... With Adams, you want the upside that Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams, and he can be a top 5 a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy, you know? He said, Chase is good in top 5. I just want to see a 1,700-yard type season like what we saw with CD. The thing is, like, that's... As long as Chase doesn't get hurt, like kind of like OBJ did when he was young, this season is coming, and that's why we keep drafting him in the top 5. Soccer's on topic to football. He said, Uruguay is one of the best coaches in soccer. Yeah, I've heard that. So taking Andrews is the better way to do it. I think that I've heard that from Corain. And I think you might be right. Because Lamar can definitely fall. People maybe, especially at this turn here, nobody had like a Zay Flowers or a Derrick Henry to want to take Lamar. I think you're absolutely right. That's something good to note. That Andrews is the one you want to take, because this guy who took Lamar probably doesn't take Lamar if Andrews isn't there. So that's a good point. Let's see. Man, we're sleeping on wide receiver here, but we're gonna take Kittle. Take Kittle, secure both of our onesies. We have Chase. We have Devontae Adams with our first 2 picks. We just took 4 straight detours, man. I was hoping Rashee Rice would come back to us. I knew that there probably wasn't a way for that to happen, but we took Kittle there. 4 straight detours from wide receiver. We're going to have to make up some ground here in a second. Not my favorite start to a draft. But at every point, it's been tough to turn down not wide receiver at all of these picks, pretty much. Probably have Lamar stacked with Bateman everywhere. Yeah, that seems to be the case. That said, being a running quarterback, I don't mind unstacked Lamar. Unless Minshew brought Steichen over, then I don't know how applicable the Colts situation is to Raiders. That's true as well. Steichen was pretty much puppeteering Minshew last year into being a replacement level quarterback is the nicest way I can put it. That is a good point. Luke Getsy's not a great OC, and Pierce isn't an offensive coach, so he's kind of in a tough spot. Oh, give me Hopkins, man. Give me Hopkins. We have a bit of a vintage wide receiver room here of Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins, but I like it. We'll mix in some upside swings here in a second. This is probably going to be a 2-5-9-2 build. We definitely have to think through getting some KC Pittsburgh going, but this should be good. I kind of like the way that this team is going here. You always backstack Lamar with Walker and assume Bateman is still bad at football. Oh, Devontae's Walker? That's interesting. Yeah, no. I think you're 100% right, Brock. Steichen is legitimately a wizard, and if I was a Colts fan, I would be jacked up about it. But what else we got? Ferguson gone. I haven't been taking a lot of Kyler. I want to start taking more Kyler. It's not that I don't think that he's a good value. It's that I've been taking a lot of the elite quarterbacks. Like I'll end up with Hurts, Allen, Lamar, Richardson, Mahomes a lot. And if not, I'm taking these. Like for me to take Kyler, I need all of Watson, Deontay, Hopkins, JSN, Brian Thomas, all of these guys off the board. But I want to start taking him more. But he was much cheaper than this in like the big board, where I think I might have a lot of them in the big board. I do want to check. Let me see. So I think I might have 0% Kyler right now in post drafts teams, which I don't like at all. Wow, I just got an email for an ESPN 30 for 30 about FaZe Clan called No Scope. That might actually be sick. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. So Detroit. Let's take Jameson Williams as the other side of the Detroit San Fran game. I'm fine with that. I don't love taking wide receivers in this range, but I think that that's a fine defensible pick. That's actually a cool concept for a 30 for 30. I've been wanting to. There's not a lot of sports going on. I've been wanting to go back and watch a 30 for 30 or two that maybe I didn't miss. What are my favorite stacks for a redraft league? Huh. I don't know that I have a favorite one. I think Mahomes, Rashee Rice is one of the better ones right now, and then also Lamar, Mark Andrews are the two that I like. Downs your most owned wide receiver on underdog. I like that call. You said Burrow in the 8th is tempting as well. Yeah, I agree. Especially if I have Chase or I have T. That's one that I walk into a bunch. Kyler Marv stack. The thing, I'm not drafting a lot of Marv. I'm not drafting 0 of Marv, but I should be drafting more. Said Shanahan, Steichen, McDonald, Ben Johnson. Who the hell's McDonald? Am I an idiot for not knowing who McDonald is? Am I out of myself as a casual? Man, I'm gonna take a really boring Josh Palmer pick there. I'm not crazy about it at all. But we need wide receivers. Could have maybe talked me into like a Trey Benson pick there, but I wasn't crazy about it at this spot. Yeah, I mean, uncorrelated Josh Palmer does not feel great ever. But I didn't mind just taking a swing, or it's not a swing, but just some kind of steady wide receiver points on this team because we took so many detours early. Oh, you mean McDaniel? Yeah. Steichen, Shanahan, McDaniel, Ben Johnson. I would put Reed. I would put Andy Reid in there. I would put Sean McVay in there. That's probably it. Kellen Moore's not a bad shout. So Deontay Johnson could have a DJ Moore-like season if Bryce Young ends up being good. Yeah, I do agree on that. Josh Palmer's your most drafted player. I can't quite get there. I can't quite get all the way there. Oh, LaFleur's in there too. That's a good shout, Brock. Yeah, I can get Herbert late as well. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Josh Palmer, but just from where the team is right now, where we kind of just need wide receiver points, I was fine with it. I don't know. If you wanted to talk me into Romeo Doubs or Khalil Shakir, fine. But Josh Palmer, you know he's going to run routes. You know he's going to be fine. You know he's going to have spike weeks with a high ADOT. Is he probably overpriced in the 9th round? Probably. But structurally, he made sense. Again, you could have talked me into a Trey Benson. In hindsight, I kind of do wish it was a Trey Benson pick, but I was fine mixing in a Palmer. I really don't have much of him right now. But yeah, I'm very jealous, man. The Colts, like Steichen's a dog. I'd love to have one of those young offensive-minded coaches who aren't idiots. I've had enough of Robert Saleh, man. I've just simply seen enough. Huh. You know what? Give me Wicks. We'll reach a little bit on Wicks. I'm fine with that. So again, it's going to be a 2592. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't know. I debated A.D. Mitchell pretty hard there, but I'm fine with that. Now we're just hammering out wide receivers. If you go rookie quarterback and redraft, would you go 2 rookies, Caleb and Daniels, or would you just take 1 and then a veteran? Probably would go with a veteran and the rookie. Like if we're talking not best ball, or honestly in general, I probably would want a veteran as well, just because rookie quarterbacks can get off to a slow start. Like especially if we're talking managed leagues, I almost never feel good starting a rookie in week 1. It just doesn't feel right. So I do like that call of Herbert or Lawrence with a Caleb or Daniels. Oh yeah. You can put KOC in that list as well. That's another one. I agree. Hmm. Oh man, give me Gus Edwards again. We'll take some steady Gus Edwards. Or actually, no, give me AD. I was about to take Gus Edwards, but I'm fine. I'm kind of fine. Like This is gonna be a 2-5-9-2 build, but I think we're gonna really push those last three running backs. Like it's gonna be a pretty extreme double hero RB build, just to kind of mess around with structure in a $3 tournament. Again, 2-5-9-2. So we need one more quarterback, three more running backs, two more wide receivers, and one more tight end. I do like the rookie upside of an AD Mitchell. He is a fun pick. But now we have to kind of be careful. We only have two more wide receiver bullets to pick from. Also, if anybody's curious, I finished The Sopranos last night, which I've been like, maybe for the last year and a half, I've been watching it on and off. Can't say I didn't love the ending. I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought that the show was great, though. I think it's probably the best TV series of all time. I was told the ending was good, but I did not love it. I also think in terms of the best TV series of all time, I am partial to it being in Jersey. Like when Chris and Tony Soprano crash at the end and they go to the hospital, it's St. Clair's in Denville, which is literally 10 minutes from my house and like where a lot of my friends were born. So yeah, it is definitely cool knowing the landmarks that are around. So I think I am pretty biased towards it. Where are we at on Troy Franklin? I actually like Troy Franklin. High ADOT guy, spike week guy, and I just don't see I don't see Marvin Mims as a real threat at wide receiver. What is your hate with Saleh? Just with he won a lot of games just with defense. Never seen a team winning so many games without NFL QB. I think you can only neglect the part, like the offensive part, so long with a head coach. Like it's also on him. He's part of the issue of like putting Tim Boyle in over Zach Wilson, not bringing back a Joe Flacco. Let's see. Give me Marshawn Lloyd. We'll get some rookie upside at running back there. Man, I was hoping that Freiermuth came back to us. I was debating Freiermuth with that AD Mitchell pick hard. But yeah, the thing is the defense is already really talented, man. Like I know that he got a lot out of the defense, but the defense is already, like the defense is the best in the league. And I'm not just saying, like PFF ranked its top defensive unit heading into 2024 this year. So you'd have to be an idiot to screw up the defense that the Jets have at this point. Quinnen Williams. Quincy Williams is a dog. C.J. Mosley's a dog. Sauce Gardner is a dog. Jermaine Johnson's coming into his own. They have Hassan Reddick now. So Robert Saleh, like being the main mover of the defense, to me it just doesn't work. I also think Ulbrich, the DC, is a big part of that. And Saleh is also somebody who he doesn't do anything for me. Where he's not one of these Steichen guys where he can call an offense. He's not calling the defense. And to me, he's not one of these like Belichick, Vrabel, Tomlin, tough guy leaders of men. Like he doesn't. I don't buy it. Like when he was talking in Hard Knocks, he just curses every other second. Which I'm not saying cursing is bad, but it like the best wrestling promos in WWE. Not that it has some correlations like speeches in the NFL. You shouldn't have to say fuck every other sentence to like get your point across. That opening speech, he's like reading off of. Hold on here, I gotta lock in. Give me Jaleel McLaughlin here. We'll take a running back. We need to start thinking about the second quarterback, but we're just gonna push it. Like we have options for Levis. We have options. Yeah, Levis is really our last option. But like the opening speech where he's like talking about like, oh, the hawk sees its prey. To me, number one, it was corny. Number two, he's reading off of note cards. And number three, he's saying fuck like every other sentence. And it just feels like phony and fake. So to me, he's not like very charismatic. He's not that leader of men. The defense is already really, really good, and our DC is really, really good. So I have a tough time giving that to Saleh. Saleh's decisions with like Tim Boyle and shit have been bad. It's just I don't know, man. At a certain point, you have to make the playoffs or do something. Regimes aren't meant to last this long where they're They don't have a winning season. They don't make the playoffs. They screw up the second overall pick with Zach Wilson. At a certain point, Saleh and the GM, Joe Douglas, who I've been critical of, have to get held accountable. Have you watched The Boys? I watched the first couple seasons. I haven't watched the new one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dan Campbell is the best at like that leader of men archetype. I buy it much more. I'd want to play for him much more. To me, I just don't buy it with Saleh, man. Anyone attached to the Broncos is incapable to have spike weeks? Justin Herzig won BBM 1 with KJ Hamler's rookie year. He had a spike week. I don't know if you're quoting me. No, literally, Brock. Yeah, Saleh, maybe he had some impact on the development, but I really don't think much, man. I think the only thing I'll give Saleh is his defensive scouting in the draft is really good. That's what I'll give him. Rodgers, Bateman, Wandale. Give me Wandale just to set up a Daniel Jones backdoor if we need it. So again, 2592. Man, I wanted Roman Wilson as like a Steelers last round pick, but that's not going to happen. I don't think the Steelers have anything else that is worth in a bring back. No. I'm not taking Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson. You could talk me into round. Does anybody want to talk me into round 18? Cordarrelle Patterson. Speak now or forever hold your truth. Or hold your peace, whatever the hell. Washington. Trying to think through what these. We have like Tennessee as an option. So we have Levis as an option. We have Daniel Jones as an option. As long as there's no bye week layover there. Jets, Seattle. Tennessee. Baltimore, Arizona, Denver. We already have the. Give me Levis. I don't think that there's any point in being of sort of screwing around with the Levis QB2 backdoor. Tennessee plays the Jaguars the final week, so we get the ETN bring back. We get Levis to DeAndre Hopkins. All right, so that works. We were really pushing it on quarterback there, but that's fine. That works out perfectly with Mahomes. But yeah, like I said, I do think at the very least with Saleh, he is a really good defensive scout. Almost all of his defensive picks, and you can be like, oh well, Joe Douglas makes the picks. Well, a lot of Joe Douglas, him liking a defensive player is usually because Saleh capes up for him. So I'll give him the credit with that. With Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson. I believe Quincy Williams was a pickup that they made. That's kind of it. I'm trying to think of through like anybody else that like stands out, but not really, man. Saleh does also bring over those like misfit toys from San Fran, where we get some good rotation minutes out of Solomon Thomas. We're gonna get some out of Javon Kinlaw this year. That's really it, man. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't like Saleh. I'm just saying like the one thing you can point to has been his input in the defensive side of the ball in terms of draft picks, because Douglas has a lot of faith in him in there, and then also the development. But that's really it. Outside of that, the DC is doing a lot of the game planning. Saleh doesn't even call the plays on defense. He also, another thing is that he sucks with time management, like calling timeouts and end of game situations. He sucks with that. He's almost like Hackett level bad. It's just brutal, man. I don't know how he survived this long. All right, so. Damn, someone took Chigo Okonkwo? Are you kidding me? Damn. We get completely boxed out of tight end there. Oh, give me an uncorrelated Jalen McMillan. I like Jalen McMillan. Tennessee Jaguars. Yeah, so at tight end, I don't know what the hell we're doing at tight end, man. We can just gonna have to be a late round dart throw that I like, which I have a couple that I like, but nothing correlated. What do you guys think, man? 18th round Cordell Patterson. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I will. He's gonna make the team. He's gonna be on special teams. He'll be low owned. I think that he is viable. As crazy as that sounds. His leadership isn't great, man. He's not a great leader, man. Like the whole like rah-rah stuff. I don't think people really buy into it. I don't think people really love Saleh like that, like they do with Dan Campbell. He doesn't really have the results for people to buy in like that. So it's tough when I don't think that he's the best speaker. Like on Hard Knocks, like I said earlier, his opening speech was done on flashcards, which a lot of players don't like. Like McAfee even brought it up that when wow, I almost missed this pick here because I'm talking nonsense here. Give me Dawson Knox, man. Dawson Knox is going to catch like 5 touchdowns this year. That's a fact. And our last pick, we're keeping the light on for Cordell Patterson. But yeah, like former NFL players roasted Saleh for reading off of flashcards for his like opening speech. He's not a great speaker. He's not a Dan Campbell. At least Luke Getsy isn't your head coach. I don't think he's any of our head coaches. Yeah, no, Saleh 100%. Almost any defensive pick that the Jets make, Saleh has his hand in it. He does. I'll give him credit on that. He said go 4 tight ends. I can't justify 4 tight ends when we took Kittle. That's kind of the issue. People are saying Calvin Austin, Trey Tucker. Not drafting punt returners. I mean, Arthur Smith loves Cordell Patterson. He loves to put him on the field. Could score a touchdown when I need it. It'll be the first time I've drafted. Like, I'm not saying that you should go out there and draft a ton of him, but I think once or twice would work. What do we think, though? We think Cordell Patterson's that bad of an 18th round pick? I think it's defensible. I don't know that Austin's a starter. I don't think it's a lock that he plays over Van Jefferson or Roman Wilson. My bad if you heard that water. If you heard that, that is on me. Let's say Cordell Patterson, man. He's going to be on the team. I know he's a returner, but he'll be in the mix. He had 59 attempts last year, 59 touches last year. Maybe he scores a touchdown. Again, I'm not doing it a ton. I don't advise you to do it. But sometimes you gotta go off the beaten path and take somebody that nobody else is gonna have. We got Pesky in the chat. How much are you comfortable adding to Brooks to get to Achane? Probably the equivalent of a future first, but I wouldn't want to do Brooks in a future first for Achane, like the equivalent, if that makes sense. Maybe even that's too much though. I'm trying to think what Brooks is probably like a 6 in startups and Achane's like a 3rd. Can I just like give somebody from the like? Can I do Brooks and Reed? Like, can I do Brooks and Jaden Reed for Achane? Is that an overpay? I don't know. I'd want to do something like that, like a wide receiver I don't need. Would make a lot of sense to me. But that is going to do it for us today. I'll actually read off the team one last time here for the audio listeners. I think I might upload this as a podcast. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. I think that that's fair, Pesky. I think I would want to try and Frankenstein the value of a first instead of giving that first, if that makes sense. But maybe you get a second in return. I think that that would probably be a no from the other guy. But if you could do Achane and a second for Brooks and a first, I think I'd be open to it. But the team, we drafted to the 5 spot. We go Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Devin Achane, Travis Etienne, Mahomes, Kittle, Hopkins, Jamison Williams, Josh Palmer, Tavion Wicks, A.D. Mitchell, Marshawn Lloyd, Jaleel McLaughlin, Wan'Dale Robinson, Will Levis, Jalen McMillan, Dawson Knox, Cordarrelle Patterson. And that is all she wrote. I appreciate you guys coming out here. I do love these streams. I love connecting with you guys, just talking ball, talking draft strategy, and just connecting with the audience every Monday. We go live every single Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We rip a couple drafts. We talk some ball. I keep saying I'm going to have a guest on. We will start having guests on soon, but I do like just hanging out with you guys. So that's all there is to it. I also hate using StreamYard, but appreciate you guys coming out here. Again, we have the special on Underdog. Go USA. We need a win tonight. Anything less than a win and we get knocked out of the Copa, I'm going to be watching. If you want a little sweat, you could put together a pick'em in the pick'em lobby on Underdog Fantasy. All you got to do is, if you're new, use promo code RON. They'll match your first deposit up to $250. You can find the link in the description. Find the link at the top of the live chat right now and at the top of the comment section down below. It's all on there. Sign up. You can hop in some drafts with us. You can get practice for your home leagues. You can sweat out some Copa games with the Christian Pulisic higher on 0.5 shots special for being a new customer. You can get in the MLB streets. You can get in the, I'm trying to think of what other sports they have here. But yeah, they have like soccer lines too, which is really cool, or soccer projections. So definitely something to check out. As always, appreciate you guys watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.